Good morning, dear student. In previous lecture, we already discussed the classification of lipids. What is lipids and their classification? So in today's lecture, we are very much interested in the properties and the structure of the lipids. So we will discuss one by one. Let us see the first one, that is the simple lipids. Simple lipids. Simple lipids, in which we discuss the first one, that is we already discussed the simple lipids having two types. One is fats or oils, and second is waxes. Fats or oils, and second is waxes. So we discuss the first one, that is fats or oils. They are included in simple lipids, and then we discuss some properties of waxes. So let us discuss one by one, that is the fats. So the fats are nothing but they are the esters of fatty acids with glycerol. So we already discussed it. So they are they are ester of fatty acids, esters of fatty acids with glycerol. Esters of fatty acids with glycerol. They are found in nature in large quantities. So these are the esters of fatty acid with glycerols, and they are found in nature with large quantity. Again, the second important point regarding to these fats, so let us consider it is as a properties or characteristics. So we can consider it as a characteristics of the fats. So they are the esters of fatty acid with glycerol. Again, the second one, they are best reservoir of food material in the human body. So these fats, fats, they are the best reserve food material, best reserve food material in the human body, so this is the second important points regarding to the fats. So these they are esters of fatty acid with glycerol. Again, they are the best reserve food material in the human body. The third important point is that they act as an insulator for the loss of body heat. They act as an insulator. They act as an insulator for the loss of body heat. They act as an insulator for the loss of body heat. And the fourth one is they act as a padding material for protecting the internal organs. So they are act as a padding material, for protection of internal organ, for protection of internal organ, So these are the some important points regarding to these fats. So these are they are nothing but the esters of fatty acid with glycerol. We already discussed these fatty acids and the reactions of fatty acid with glycerol. Again, they are the best reserve food material in the human body. They act as an insulator for the loss of body heat. Again, they act as a padding material for protection of internal organs. Again, uh, the chemical structure of the fat consists of three different molecules of fatty acid with one molecule of glycerol. So we already discussed it. That is, three molecules of fatty acid interact with one molecule of glycerol. That is nothing but your CH2OH is there, then CHOH is there, again CH2OH is there. So this is your glycerol, and the three molecules C double bond O H, R dash, R a double dash, which it's not double bond here. R double dash is there. Again, uh, the separate three molecules. I will make a mistake here. So this is your glycerol molecule. Again, three molecules of fatty acids. So the fatty acids are different. It is not same. C double bond O R dash. Again, the second one is there. C double bond O R double dash is there. Again, C double bond O R triple dash is there, and they will interact. So there is elimination of three water molecule, and we get the esters of fatty acids. So we get the esters of fatty acid, that is CH2O, C double bond O R dash. Again, this is your CHO, C double bond O R double dash, and the third one, that is your CH2 again, O C double bond O R dash, R triple dash is there. So we get the triglycerides. So this molecule, triacylglycerol, okay, it is considered as a triglyceride. Triglyceride. So this is your fatty acids. Okay, so this is the reaction we already discussed. Again, let us see the physical properties of these fats. So these are some important point regarding to these fats. Let us discuss the important properties of the fats. We know that the fats are insoluble in water but readily soluble in organic solvents such as ether, chloroform, benzene, and CCl4. So the first property is that they are insoluble in water, but soluble in organic solvent, such as ether, chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, benzene. Okay, it is the second important physical properties of these fats are they are readily soluble in hot alcohol but slightly soluble in cold. The second one, so they are readily soluble in hot alcohol but slightly soluble in cold alcohol. Okay, so you should remember this point. They are insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvent, readily soluble in hot alcohol but slightly soluble in cold. Again, uh, these fats, okay, so they are themselves act as a good solvent for other fats and fatty acids. The next property is that they are tasteless, odorless, colorless, and neutral in reactions. They are tasteless, odorless, colorless. They are tasteless, odorless, colorless, and neutral in reaction. And neutral in reaction. Neutral in reaction. So these are the some important properties. Again, the next one is that several neutral fats are readily crystallized. Another important properties, physical properties of the fat is several fats, neutral fats, several neutral fats, several neutral fats are readily crystallized. Crystallize. Again, one more property of these fats are uh, the specific gravity of the solid fats is about 0.86. So the fat people float in water more readily than the thin ones. So this is the reason why the fat peoples float in water more readily than the thin ones, because the specific gravity of the solid fats is about 0.86. Again, uh, they spread uniformly over the surface of water. So the spreading effect is to lower surface tension. Whatever the spreading effect is to lower surface tensions. So, they spread uniformly over the surface water. So spread over, they spread uniformly over the surface of water. Again, the important point is that the next important point is that that is the identification of fats or oils. So how one can identify the fats and oils? Sorry, identification of fats and oils. So if you see the identification, there is a different processes. The first one, that is the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis, identification of fats and oil. The first one, that is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol takes place by lipids producing fatty acids and glycerols. So the uh, hydrolysis means the cleavage of the bond. Hydro means water and lysis means cleavage. The hydrolysis is nothing but the cleavage of the bond by addition of water. So what is this hydrolysis? In this case, we consider hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol, that is the ester of fatty acids and glycerol, takes place to give fatty acids and glycerols. So hydrolysis means what? Hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol, hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol takes place hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol takes place by lipids, by the lipids producing fats and glycerols, fatty acids, not fats, fatty acids and glycerol. So these the phospholipase. So this lipase is considered as enzymes. The phospholipase attacks the ester linkage of the phospholipids. So we discuss later on what is phospholipids and what are the different component. This is the first one, that is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol takes place by the lipase producing fatty acids and glycerol. The second important identification process is the saponification. So we are very much familiar with this word, saponification. Saponification. What is meaning? What is the meaning of this saponification, or what is the saponification process? That is the boiling with alcoholic solution of strong metallic alkali hydrolyze the triglyceride into glycerols, and the fatty acid is called saponification. So, what is saponification? The boiling with alcoholic solution of strong metallic alkali hydrolyze the triglyceride. That is, whatever the triglyceride it is, when it boil with alcoholic solution of strong metallic alkali, it will hydrolyze to give fatty acids and glycerols. So generally, the product are glycerol and alkali salt of the fatty acids, which is called as soap, and therefore the process is called saponification. So you should remember, that is the definition: boiling with boiling with boiling with alcoholic solution boiling with alcoholic solution of strong metallic alkali, boiling with, so whatever the triglycerides, whatever the lipids, when boils with alcoholic solution of strong metallic alkali, hydrolyze hydrolyzes hydrolyzes triglycerides triglycerides hydrolyzes triglycerides into hydrolyzes triglycerides into glycerols, and uh, and the alkali salt of fatty acids, alkali salt of fatty acids, and these alkali salts of fatty acid is called as soap, and therefore they are considered as a saponification process. So you should remember, what is saponification: the boiling with alcoholic solution of strong metallic alkali. So boiling of lipids with alcoholic solution of alkali hydrolyzes triglyceride into glycerol and the alkali salt of fatty acids, and the alkali salt of fatty acid is called as soap, and therefore the process is called saponification. That is the conversion of triglycerides, that is the esters of fatty acid and glycerol, into glycerols and the alkali salt of fatty acid. This process is called as saponification. Again, the one more concept is there, that is saponification number. What is this saponification number? The number of milligrams of KOH is required to saponify 1 gram of fats or oils is called saponification number. So you should remember, in later on we discuss in detail what is acid number, what is acid value, saponification value, but at least you should know the definition. That is, what is saponification number? The number of milligrams of KOH, means the number of milligrams of alkali is required to saponify 1 gram of fats or oil is called saponification number. Again, the second number is acid number. Again, the definition is the number of milligrams of KOH is required to neutralize the free fatty acids of 1 gram of fat is called acid number. So don't confuse between saponification number and acid number, because in saponification the product is glycerols and the salts of fatty acids, alkali salts of fatty acids, but in acid number the number of milligrams of KOH, means the number of milligrams of alkali is required to neutralize the free fatty acids. So in this case, whatever the product is obtained, it is glycerols and your free fatty acid, it is not the salt, and therefore they are considered as a free fatty acids. So what is acid number? The number of milligrams of KOH is required to neutralize the free fatty acids of 1 gram of fats. The number of milligrams of KOH is required to neutralize the free fatty acids of 1 gram of fat is called acid number. Okay. One more is there, that is iodine number. What is this iodine number? This is the amount of iodine is absorbed by 100 grams of fats. So what is the definition of this iodine number? So amount of iodine is absorbed by 100 grams of fats. Again, this is the measure. So why what is the use of this iodine number? So this measure the degree of unsaturation of fats. So the degree of unsaturation means the carbon carbon double bond, how much carbon carbon double bond is present in the fatty acid, which is determined by using this iodine number. So at least you should know the definition, that is saponification number, acid number, and iodine number. So what is saponification number? The number of milligrams of alkali is required to saponify 1 gram of fats or oil is called saponification number. Second, acid number. The number of milligrams of KOH is required to neutralize the free fatty acids of 1 gram of fat is called acid number. And the third one, that is iodine number, that is the amount of iodine which is absorbed by 100 grams of fats, which is used to measure the degree of unsaturation of fats, is called iodine number. So in next lecture we will discuss regarding to the second type of lipids, that is compound lipids, their names and their structure. So in this case we are very much up to this, we are very much interested in the physical and physical properties and identification of these fats and oils. In the next lecture we will discuss the compound lipids, their names and their structure. Thank you.